My name is Amina. I am 25 and my husband is 28. We are cousins and we marry in 2024. His name is Rayan. We grow up in the same big family, but we are not close. He is always close to my elder brother. They spent many hours together. They played games, talked about school, and shared many jokes. I stayed quiet most of the time. I was a shy girl, and I did not join them often. I always felt like I was watching them from far away. Rayan lost his father when he was very young. His mother worked hard to raise him and his brother. Their life was not easy. They did not have much money. They lived a simple life with many worries. My father helped them for many years. He gave money, food, and support. He always said they were our family and we must stand with them. I saw love in his eyes every time he talked about them. When I became older, people began to talk about my marriage. I was the only daughter in my home. My parents loved me a lot and wanted a good life for me. I thought they would look for a man outside the family, someone I chose, someone I talked to, someone I knew. But life took a different path. One evening, my father sat with me. His voice was calm but strong. He said, "Amina, I want you to marry Rayan." I felt shocked. I did not expect this. I stared at him. I could not speak. My father looked happy with the idea. He did not ask what I wanted. He only told me what he had already decided. I felt small inside. I felt like my words did not matter. I was confused, hurt, and scared. But I did not show my emotions. I did not want to make my parents sad. I did not want to disrespect my father. So I stayed quiet. I said yes, even though my heart was not ready. I felt like I was walking toward a life I did not choose. During that time, my mind was full of fear. I could not sleep well. I felt like my days had no light. I tried to smile for my family, but inside I felt lost. I did not want to hurt anyone, but I also did not know how to save myself from this heavy feeling. In this weak moment, I made a mistake. I started to talk to another man. It began with simple words. Just friendly talk. But he listened to me. He understood my fear. He gave me space to speak. I felt heard for the first time in a long time. I felt safe with him. I felt free. I knew it was wrong, but I did not stop. My heart needed comfort, and I found it in the wrong place. Then one day, I got intimated with him. Days passed, and I shared more and more with him. I trusted him too much. I told him things I kept inside my heart. I felt close to him in a way I could not explain. I felt like he saw the real me. But this bond was a mistake. I knew it, but I did not have the strength to end it. My best friend learned about my secret. One night I cried in front of her. I told her everything. She held my hand and said, "Do not tell your family. It will break your parents. It will bring shame to your home. You cannot speak about this." Her words scared me. I felt trapped between my truth and my duty. After that night, I decided to stay silent. I decided to hide my mistake. I decided to walk into the marriage with a heavy heart. The wedding day arrived. My house was full of lights and happy faces. Everyone blessed me. Everyone said I was lucky, but I did not feel lucky. I felt scared and sad. I felt like a lie was sitting inside me. When I saw Rayan on the stage, he looked calm and gentle. He gave me a soft smile. He trusted me. That trust broke me inside. After marriage, I moved to his home. His mother welcomed me with a warm hug. Rayan treated me with respect from the first day. He asked about my comfort. He helped me with small things. He never raised his voice. He never made me feel alone. His kindness made me feel even more guilty. I started to see the truth that my father always saw. Rayan was a good man. I tried to forget my past. I tried to start a new life with him. Some days I felt hope. Some days I felt fear. My secret did not go away. It stayed inside me. It stayed in my mind. It stayed in my heart. I wanted to be honest, but I was afraid to lose everything. When I found out I was pregnant, my whole world changed. I felt scared, but Rayan was full of joy. He held my hand in every checkup. He talked to my belly. He told me I was strong and brave. He made sure I felt safe. He took care of every small need. His love was simple and pure. I did not deserve it, and that hurt me more. Sometimes I watched him when he did not see me. I saw a man who loved his family. I saw a man who worked hard. I saw a man who trusted me with all his heart. And it broke me inside. My guilt grew stronger each day. I wanted to tell him the truth. I wanted to fall into his arms and cry. But I did not have the courage. I was afraid of what the truth could destroy. When our baby boy was born, Rayan cried with joy. He held him close. He kissed his small hands. He looked at me with so much love. He said I gave him the best gift in the world. I smiled, but inside I felt pain. I felt like I was standing on a thin line between love and fear. Now our baby is 5 months old. Our home is peaceful. But my heart is not. I wake up early for the baby. I feed him. I hold him. Rayan helps me with everything. He is patient because he knows I am still healing. He never asks too much. He gives me time and space. His kindness makes my heart heavy every day. From outside, my life looks perfect. A good husband, a sweet baby, a simple home. But inside, I carry a truth that hurts me more each day. I love my husband. I love my son. But I also know I made a mistake that I cannot erase. I feel like I am standing between two worlds. One world is truth and pain. The other world is silence and fear. I do not know which one to choose. This is the beginning of my story. Before I continue rest of the story, Please like, subscribe, share, and tell me where you are listening from. Your support means a lot to me. Now let's continue. My life with Rayan looks calm from the outside. Our baby sleeps in his small bed next to ours. Some nights he wakes many times, and Rayan helps me without any complaint. He picks up our son gently and holds him close. I watch him while he moves around the room with slow steps. He has a soft smile on his face, even when he is tired. I feel my chest grow heavy every time I see him like this. I feel love and guilt mixed together in one place. Every morning Rayan leaves for work. He works in a small office. He is not rich, but he is honest and hardworking. Before leaving, he always asks if I need anything. He brings me breakfast on the table. He kisses our son's forehead. Then he smiles at me and says, "Take care. I will come early." His simple words feel warm, but they also make my heart hurt. I want to be the woman he thinks I am. I want to be clean and honest in front of him. But I carry a secret that he does not know. When he leaves for work, the house becomes quiet. I sit alone with my thoughts. I feed the baby. I talk to him softly. I place him on my lap and kiss his small hands. He smiles at me, and my heart melts. I love him more than anything. I love Rayan too, but the love feels painful because I know I am hiding the truth. Sometimes I walk to my parents' house. My mother holds my baby and smiles with joy. My father sits near me and asks if Rayan takes care of me. I say yes. He looks pleased. He always wants my life to be peaceful. He always wants me to be safe. I look at him and wonder if he will ever forgive me if he learns my secret. I know the truth will break him. That fear keeps me silent every day. One afternoon, when my baby sleeps, I sit near the window with a cup of tea. I look at the outside world, but my mind is full of old memories. I remember the days before my marriage, when I felt angry and lost. I remember how I talked to that man to escape my fear. I remember how I trusted him. I remember how I gave him a place in my heart. I feel shame every time I think about it. I want to erase those days from my life, but I cannot. The memories sit inside me like old scars. I try to push the thoughts away. I clean the house. I fold clothes. I wash the baby's toys. But the guilt follows me like a shadow. I cannot run from it. I cannot hide from it. Even when I smile, I feel something pulling me down inside. One evening, Rayan comes home early. He brings small toys for the baby. He takes him in his arms and plays with him. Their laughter fills the room. I stand near the door and watch them. I see a father who loves his child. I see a man who waits for me to heal. I see someone who gives me his full heart without any question. I ask myself again and again, why did I make that mistake? Why did I let fear guide me? The answers never come. Only sadness. Later that night, after the baby sleeps, Rayan sits beside me on the sofa. He looks tired, but calm. He asks, "Are you okay? You look worried these days." His voice is soft. His eyes are full of care. For a moment, I want to tell him everything. I want to cry and let the truth out. My lips almost open. But then fear comes back. I imagine him walking away. I imagine his pain. I imagine my family breaking. My throat closes. I cannot speak. I am just tired, I say. He smiles and puts his hand on my shoulder. "You are doing great," he tells me. "You are strong. You are a good mother." His words make my eyes fill with tears, but I turn my face so he does not see them. I do not feel strong. I do not feel like a good mother. I feel like a woman who hides behind silence. Some nights, when Rayan sleeps, I sit on the bed and watch him. His face is peaceful. His breathing is slow. He looks like someone who trusts his life with me. I touch his hand lightly. I whisper in my heart, "I am sorry. You do not know the truth, and I cannot tell you." I feel like two people at the same time. One person loves him deeply. The other person fears losing him. One day my best friend comes to visit. She sits with me while I feed the baby. She knows my secret from the start. She sees the worry on my face and says, "You think about it too much. The past is gone. You have a baby now. Forget it." Her words are simple, but they do not help me. I shake my head. "I cannot forget," I say. She sighs and looks tired. "Do not ruin your life with fear," she tells me. "You have a good husband. You have a child. Do not bring pain to your home." She means well, but I know she does not feel what I feel. She does not carry my guilt. Days go by. The guilt becomes a part of me. I carry it when I cook. I carry it when I clean. I carry it when I hold my baby. I carry it when Rayan comes home and asks me about my day. Sometimes I wonder if he can see the sadness in my eyes. But he never asks anything more. Maybe he trusts me too much. Maybe he believes I am honest in every way. That thought hurts me even more. One night, after feeding the baby, I sit on the bed with my hands on my face. I feel tired, not just in my body, but in my heart. Rayan comes to the room and sees me like this. He sits next to me and asks softly, "Do you feel sick?" I shake my head. He puts his hand on my back and says, "You can tell me anything. I am always with you." His words feel like a warm blanket on cold skin. They make me want to break down, but I do not. I look at him with a weak smile and say, "I am okay." He accepts my answer and does not push me. He never forces me to share what I cannot say. His patience is gentle, but it makes my guilt sharper. Every day I wake up with the same question in my mind. Should I tell him? Should I free myself from the secret? Or should I stay silent to protect my home? I do not know which path is right. I do not know if truth will fix anything or destroy everything. I only know this. My heart feels heavy. My soul feels tired. And I am afraid of the day when the weight inside me becomes too strong to carry. Days pass, but the questions in my heart do not stop. I wake up, feed my baby, clean the house, and move through my daily work, but the same thoughts stay inside me. I want peace, but peace feels far away. I want to feel light again, but the guilt sits on my chest like a stone. I do not know how long I can carry it. One morning, Rayan leaves for work early. The house is quiet. My baby sleeps in his small bed. I sit near him and watch his tiny face. He looks calm. He looks safe. He knows nothing about the pain inside me. I touch his soft hair and feel tears in my eyes. He is the reason I want to stay strong. He is the reason I want my home to stay together. But he is also the reason I fear the truth. Because one wrong step can break everything around him. As I look at him, a thought comes to my mind. Maybe my silence is not a lie. Maybe it is protection. Maybe it is the only way to keep my family safe. But then another thought comes. How long can I live with this secret? How long can I smile with pain inside me? My heart feels tired. My mind feels full. Later that day, my mother comes to visit. She holds my baby and smiles at him. She looks at me and says, "You look sad these days. Are you sick?" I shake my head. I say I am fine. She touches my hand and says, "Marriage is not easy. Motherhood is not easy, but you are strong." Her words make me feel weak instead of strong. I want to tell her everything, but I cannot. I know she will break. I know the truth will destroy her peace. When she leaves, I sit alone again. The silence in the room is loud. My thoughts come back and fill every corner of my mind. I feel like I am living inside a storm. I give food to my baby, change his clothes, and hold him close. But even in these soft moments, the guilt is present. Rayan returns home in the evening. He brings fresh fruit because he knows I like them. He puts the bags on the table, washes his hands, and comes to play with our baby. I watch him from the kitchen door. He looks happy and relaxed. He lifts our son in his arms, and the baby laughs. That laugh fills the house. It is a warm sound, a pure sound. It touches something deep inside me. For a moment, I feel hope, a small hope. Maybe my life can still be okay. Maybe my past mistake does not have to decide my future. Maybe I can be a good wife now. Maybe I can be a good mother. Maybe I can change inside. But then my mind reminds me of my secret, and the hope fades again. After dinner, we sit together. The baby sleeps in his bed. The room is soft and quiet. Rayan looks at me and says, "You look tired. Do you want to rest?" I say yes. He places his hand on mine gently. "Everything will be fine," he says. These words break me a little. He believes everything is fine because he does not know the truth. That night, after he sleeps, I lie awake. The room is dark. I can hear the slow sound of his breathing and the soft sound of my baby. I look up at the ceiling. I think about the truth. I think about silence. I think about the woman I am becoming. I am not happy with myself. I want to be honest. I want to be open, but I am afraid. I close my eyes and take a deep breath. I tell myself that I cannot change the past. It is gone. It cannot be fixed. I can only change what I do now. I can only choose to be better from this day forward. I can choose to protect my home. I can choose to love my husband fully. I can choose to care for my baby with all my heart. Maybe this is the only way to live with my mistake. The next morning I wake up early. The baby sleeps on my chest. Rayan watches us with a soft smile. He says, "You look peaceful today." I smile back, a real smile for the first time in many days. I do not feel light, but I feel calm, a small calm, a beginning. Later, I clean the house, cook simple food, and hold my baby close to me. I walk to the balcony and let the fresh air touch my face. I close my eyes and tell myself, I cannot change what I did, but I can change who I am now. This thought does not remove the guilt, but it makes it softer. It gives me a little breath, a little space in my heart. When Rayan comes home in the evening, he hugs me gently. I feel his care. I feel his trust. I feel his love. I do not know if I will ever have the courage to tell him the truth. Maybe one day I will. Maybe one day I will sit with him and let everything out. Or maybe I will carry this secret forever, not for myself, but for my baby and for the family that stands around us. I still feel sad. I still feel guilty. But now, I also feel something new. I feel a small hope that I can become better. I can be honest in my actions from today. I can be faithful now. I can give my husband the love he gives me. I can raise my baby with a clean heart. I can grow from my mistake. My story does not end with clear answers. My story does not end with a perfect solution, but it ends with a promise inside me. A promise to try. A promise to heal. A promise to build a better life from this moment on. Thank you for listening to this story. If you enjoyed this story, please like the video and subscribe to English Medium Stories. Stay with us for more classic stories in easy English. My name is Holly, and I want to tell you a story I carried in my heart for many years. It is a story of fear, cold nights, and long walks in the forest. It is also a story of hope. When everything around me looked dark, I still held my sister's hand. I still believed that one day we would find a place where we were safe. I was only a child, but I remember every day clearly. Some memories stay with you for life, especially when they hurt. Before everything changed, we lived as a happy family. My father loved my mother. My mother loved us. My little sister June and I spent our days running around the yard, helping with small chores, or sitting near the fire in the evenings. My mother always smiled when she looked at us. She often said, "You two are the light in this house." I liked hearing those words. They made our small home feel warm. But one day, my mother became sick. Her face looked pale. Her hands felt weak. She tried to smile, but her eyes looked tired. I sat by her bed each night, holding her hand. June slept close to her, hoping she would wake up strong again. We wanted her to stay with us, but she did not get better. One morning, she closed her eyes and did not open them again. My father cried. June cried. I cried too. Our house felt empty. The days felt long and quiet. I missed her voice. I missed her touch. After some weeks, my father looked tired and lost. He tried to cook, but the food tasted strange. He tried to fetch water, but he dropped the bucket many times. He looked at us with sad eyes. He said, "I cannot do this alone. You two need a mother." I need help. I did not know what he meant. I was young, but I understood that he felt weak without my mother. Still, I did not think anything would change. But things changed faster than I expected. One day, my father met a young woman in the town. I did not know her name then, but I remember the way he looked when he came home that evening. He looked nervous but excited. He sat down and said, "I met someone today." I did not understand why his voice shook, but I listened. He continued, "She is kind. She is beautiful. I think she can help us." I felt unsure. I did not want anyone to take my mother's place, but I stayed quiet. A few days later, he told us he planned to marry her. I did not know what to say. I looked at June. She looked scared. My father tried to smile, but it did not reach his eyes. Something felt wrong. He held us close and said, "It will be fine. She will love you." But his voice did not sound sure. Later that night, he sat beside us. I could see his hands shake. I could see fear on his face. "Girls," he said, "there is something I must tell you." My heart beat hard. He took a deep breath. "My new wife does not like children. She does not want you in the house. You must hide in the grain store. Only for some time." My sister began to cry softly. I did not cry, but I felt cold all over. "But you will have food," he said quickly. "I will make sure of it. Please listen to me." I did not want to hide. I did not want to be pushed away, but I also did not want to make him sad. So I nodded, and June held my hand tight. The next morning, my father brought the woman home. She had long hair and a perfect smile, but her eyes looked sharp. She did not smile at us. She did not even look at us. My father said to her, "My ancestors' spirits live in the grain store. Please bring them food 3 times a day. They must not get angry. They are always hungry." The woman nodded slowly. Her smile looked false. June and I went into the grain store. It was dark and cold. We sat close to each other on old sacks. We waited. I hoped my father would check on us. I hoped the woman would try to like us. For some days, she brought food to the door. She placed it inside without saying a word. We ate quietly. We slept on the floor. It felt lonely, but we stayed close. One afternoon, she came late. I heard her steps. I heard her open the door, but her face looked strange. She stared at us with angry eyes. "So it is you," she said. "Not spirits, not ancestors, just 2 silly girls." I did not know how she found out. Later I learned the hairdresser had told her the truth. But in that moment, all I saw was anger on her face. She slammed the door shut and locked it. "No more food for you," she shouted. June began to cry. I held her close. "Do not cry," I whispered. "We will find a way." That evening, when my father came home, I heard loud voices outside. The woman shouted, "You lied to me! You said there were spirits. You said they needed food, but you were hiding these girls. I will leave you if you keep them. You choose them or you choose me." Her voice was sharp and full of anger. I waited for my father to say, "I choose my daughters." I waited for him to fight for us, but I did not hear those words. Instead, in a weak and tired voice, he said, "I will take them away tomorrow." I sat there in the dark, holding June, feeling very small. I did not understand how a father could turn away from his own children. June asked me, "Why does he not want us?" I could not answer because I did not know. I only held her close and waited for the morning. When the sun came up, my father opened the door. His face looked older. He could not look at us for long. "Come," he said softly. "We must walk." He held June's hand. I walked beside him. We walked deep into the forest. The trees grew tall. The air felt cold. No sound came from the birds. We walked for a long time until our legs felt weak. After many hours, my father said, "Rest here. Sleep under this tree. I will return soon." I wanted to believe him. June curled up beside me. I looked at him. His eyes looked sad, but he turned away and walked off. Before he left, he placed a thick branch between us, as if we would think he was still sitting next to us. I knew it was not him, but I closed my eyes and said nothing. I fell asleep for a short time. When I woke up, it was dark. The air felt heavy. June whispered, "Holly, I hear something." I listened and heard slow steps. "It is a wolf," I whispered. "Stay close." The sound grew nearer. June shook with fear. I did not want her to cry out. I looked at our clothes. "They are leather," I whispered. "Maybe he wants something to eat." I tore a small piece of my sleeve and threw it far. The wolf sniffed it, ate it, and waited. We gave him more small pieces. At last, he walked away. June leaned against me. We were tired but safe for now. Morning came slowly. The sun touched the treetops. June looked around. "Father did not come back," she said. Her voice sounded weak. I took her small hand. "We will find help. We must be brave," I said. I climbed a tall tree and looked far across the forest. I saw a house in the distance. It looked big. There were cows and sheep outside. "There is a house," I told her. "Come. We will go." We walked toward the house. My legs felt heavy. June walked slowly behind me. When we reached the fence, a man came out. He was tall and strong. His face looked hard. His eyes looked angry. I felt danger at once. "That man is not safe," I whispered to June. We stepped back behind some bushes, waiting for him to leave. After he went away with his animals, I said, "Stay here. I will get food." I ran inside the house. I found bread on the table, grabbed it quickly, and ran back to June. We ate fast. We were hungry. The next day, I did the same, and the next day as well. But on the fourth day, June looked at me and said, "I want to come too." "I do not want to stay alone." I felt unsure. "You run slow," I said. "It is not safe." But she shook her head. "I am coming." I took a deep breath, held her hand, and we ran toward the house together. Before I continue rest of the story, please like, subscribe, share, and tell me where you are listening from. Your support means a lot to me. Now let's continue. June held my hand as we ran toward the house. I tried to move fast, but she was small and her steps were short. I looked back many times to check on her. When we reached the door, I found bread in the same place as before. I grabbed it and pulled June toward the exit. But she did not follow. She stopped near a shelf and stared at some fruit. "I want one," she whispered. "We do not have time," I said. But she stayed. Before I could pull her away, the door opened behind us. The hunter stood there. His boots were covered in dirt. His hands were strong and rough. He looked at June, then at me. His eyes grew wide with anger. "A thief!" he shouted. His voice filled the whole room. My legs felt weak. June froze. The hunter stepped forward and grabbed her arm. She cried out. I wanted to help her, but he was too strong. He lifted her off the ground and pulled a large sack from the floor. "Into the sack," he said. June cried and tried to get free, but he pushed her inside and tied the top. I heard her small voice calling my name. I felt helpless. The hunter carried the sack outside and climbed to the roof. He tied the sack to a beam, letting it hang above the yard. June's voice came from high above. "Holly, help me!" I wanted to run to her, but the hunter stood between us. He gave one hard pull to the rope. Then he walked away with his animals, leaving the house quiet again. When he finally disappeared into the forest, I ran from my hiding place. My heart felt heavy, but I kept moving. I climbed inside the house again and looked around. "June!" I called. "Where are you?" Her voice answered from above, full of fear. "I am here!" she cried. I looked up and saw the sack. It swung gently in the wind. I climbed the ladder, reached the rope, and cut it with a sharp tool. The sack dropped onto a pile of hay. I opened it fast and pulled her out. She held on to me as if she would never let go. "We cannot stay," I told her. "He will come back." June nodded and wiped her face. She looked tired, but she stood beside me. Before leaving, I had an idea. We filled the sack with heavy stones. We pulled the rope and lifted it back to the beam. I wanted the hunter to think June was still inside. When the sack was in place, we ran behind the trees and waited. The hunter returned soon. His steps were loud. He walked toward the sack and hit it with a stick. "You bad girl," he shouted. The rope snapped and the sack fell. The stones landed on him with great force. He fell to the ground and did not move again. June held my hand tight. I did not speak. We only looked at each other and then turned away. We walked fast, leaving the house far behind. The forest felt endless. The ground was full of leaves. Our feet hurt with every step. June walked close beside me. She asked, "Where will we go now?" I did not know, but I told her, "We will keep walking. There must be a place where someone will help us." We walked for hours. The sky began to turn orange. The air grew cooler. My legs felt weak, but I kept going because June needed me. At last we saw a small cottage between two large trees. Smoke rose from a chimney. The place looked quiet. I walked to the door and knocked. An old woman opened it. She had soft eyes and a gentle face. She looked at us with concern. "My dear children," she said, "why are you alone in this forest?" June began to cry. I could not speak for a moment. The old woman placed her hand on my arm. "Come inside," she said. "You are safe here." Her voice was warm. We stepped into the cottage. It smelled like soup and fresh bread. She gave us warm food. She gave us soft beds. For the first time in many days, I felt calm. June fell asleep fast. I watched her breathing slowly. The old woman covered her with a blanket. "You can stay here," she said to me. "I will take care of you." I nodded. I felt a quiet sense of peace. I hoped this place could be our new home. The next morning, sunlight came through the small window. I woke up slowly. For a moment, I did not remember where I was. Then I saw June sleeping beside me, and I saw the warm light in the old woman's kitchen. It felt strange to feel safe again. I sat up and looked around the room. The old woman was already awake. She moved quietly, as if she did not want to disturb us. When she saw me, she smiled. "You look very tired," she said. "You must rest more." Her voice was soft, and it made me feel calm. I thanked her and helped June get up. The old woman placed warm bowls of porridge on the table. June ate slowly. She seemed unsure, as if she still feared the hunter or the cold nights in the forest. I sat close to her, hoping she would feel safe again. After breakfast, the old woman asked us gently, "Where is your family?" I looked down at my hands. It was hard to speak about it, but I wanted her to know the truth. I told her about my mother, who passed away. I told her about my father, who became weak after my mother died. Then I told her about the stepmother. I did not use harsh words, but I told the old woman how the stepmother asked my father to send us away, and how he listened to her. The old woman's eyes softened. "You two have been through more than most children," she said. "But you are safe here." June looked at her and whispered, "Will you send us away too?" The old woman shook her head. "No, my dear. You can stay. I have space here, and my home is quiet. I do not have family of my own anymore. I would like to care for you." Her words felt gentle and warm. They touched something deep inside me. It was not like the cold promises from my father. It was not like the sharp voice of the stepmother. It was simple, honest care. I felt a small sense of strength growing inside me, something I had not felt in a long time. I looked at June and saw hope on her face. During the next days, the cottage became familiar. June and I helped with small tasks. We collected water, washed dishes, and swept the floors. The old woman showed us how to make simple meals. She spoke in a calm voice, and she never raised it in anger. Each night she sat with us near the fire and told us small stories from her younger days. They were not big or grand stories, but they made the room feel warm. June began to smile again. She followed the old woman everywhere, asking questions and helping with anything she could. I watched her and felt grateful. After so many days of fear, she was finally relaxing. Her small steps were steady again, and her voice sounded brighter. One afternoon, while June played with wooden blocks near the fireplace, the old woman sat beside me and placed her hand on mine. "You take good care of your sister," she said. "You are strong." I felt quiet for a moment. "I had to be strong," I said. "There was no one else?" She nodded as if she understood every word. "You do not have to carry everything alone now," she said. Her words felt steady and real. Days turned into weeks, and our life in the cottage became our new routine. I learned how to prepare bread. June learned how to feed the chickens behind the house. The old woman taught us how to grow small plants in pots. At night, the warm fire made the cottage feel like a safe world far away from the forest, the hunter, and the stepmother. I often looked at June as she slept and felt a quiet sense of peace. I thought of our father sometimes. I wondered if he missed us, or if he even looked for us. I wondered if he remembered how he left us under that tree. But each time I thought of him, the memory felt distant, like something that belonged to another life. I no longer waited for him to return. I no longer waited for his voice or his empty promises. I focused on the place where we were now and the person who truly cared for us. One evening, after a long day of work around the house, the old woman sat with us by the fire. The light made her face look warm and calm. She looked at June first, then at me. "I want to ask you something," she said. "Would you like to stay with me as my daughters? You already feel like family to me. I would be glad to give you a real home." June looked at me with wide eyes. She did not speak, but I could see how much she wanted to stay. I felt the same. I took a deep breath. "We would like that," I said. "We feel safe here." The old woman smiled in a gentle way. It was not a big smile. It was a steady one that carried trust. From that day on, the cottage was not just a place we stayed in. It was our home. The old woman became our new family. She never pushed us away. She never shouted. She never asked us to hide or fear anyone. She kept her door open for us with simple kindness. June and I grew stronger in that warm place. We learned to help, to work, to live without fear. And in time, the forest no longer felt like a place of danger. It felt far away, like a part of our past that no longer controlled our days. We had found a home, a real one. Thank you for listening to this story. If you enjoyed this story, please like the video and subscribe to English Medium Stories. Stay with us for more classic stories in easy English.